The angle of a sector is 30 degrees and the radius is 15 cm. So this is the angle, so this is theta. And then we have radius r is 15 cm. So what is the area of the sector? So the area of a sector is 1/2 r squared theta. So if you can still remember, if we have a circle, the sector is just like 1 pi of the whole circle. So we wanted to find this whole area, and then the formula is 1/2 r squared theta. Take note that theta should be in radian. That's why we have a conversion factor pi over 180 degrees. Find the volume of a cone to be constructed from a sector having a diameter of 72 cm. So this is our diameter. So half of that is our radius. So the radius is 36 cm. And then the central angle of the sector is 150 degrees. So if you're going to draw that, so this is our sector with a central angle of 150 degrees and a radius of 36 cm. So we wanted to create a cone from this sector. So if you're going to connect this point here to this point here, you can create a cone. So this part here, the radius of the sector now will become the slant height of the cone. So that's 36 cm. And then this arc length here of the sector will now become the circumference of the base of the cone. So by Pythagorean relationship of this part here, so there is a triangle with a height h, so we can create an equation from this one. So that's why we have L squared is equals to r squared plus h squared. So height therefore is square root of L squared minus r squared. So we need to find height because the volume of the cone is 1/3. Area of the base, which is the circle here, and then the height, which is the perpendicular height of the cone. So in order to solve for the value of r, since L is equals to 36 already, we already have L, that's 36 cm. So we need to find the value of r to get h. To get r, since the arc length is equals to r theta, the big R here represents 36 cm. For the sector, 36 cm times 150 degrees. So the arc length, the length of this arc is r theta. So that's 36 times 150 degrees. We need to convert 150 degrees to radians. Since theta should be in radians, so that's why we have 35 cm. So take note that this arc length is equals to the circumference of the circle. That's why we have circumference of the circle 2 pi r is equals to the arc length, that is 35. So from that we can solve the value of r. Then substitute this r to this equation. So that's why we have h equals to this value. And finally, to get the volume of the cone, that's just area of the base. So that's the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. So pi, the radius of the circle, wherein we got r as 15 cm squared times the height, which we also get that a while ago. So each side of a cube is increased by 1%. By what percent is the volume of the cube has increased? So say that the cube is originally so we know that a cube is composed of the sides of the volume of a cube is equal to a cube, and it is dependent on the sides. We wanted to increase the cube, the volume of the cube, so by 1%. So we have, say this cube has an edge of a, so by increasing the volume to 1%, so meaning 1% of a, so that's 0.01 a. So meaning the length of this edge now here will become a plus 0.01 of A. Or basically that's just equals to 1.018. So that's why we have 1.01A here as the volume, the final volume, and the final edge, A cubed, and then the initial edge to get the initial volume as A cubed. So we can cancel out all the values of A, so we have 3.03%. Compute the surface area of a cone having a slant height of 5 cm and a diameter 6 cm. So this one is the slant height, so this is L. And this one is the diameter, so our R is 3 cm. So having these values, since we wanted to get the surface area of a cone, for a cone the surface area is equivalent to pi RL. So the surface area is just pi RL, so that's pi, the radius which is 3 cm, and then the slant height 5 cm. A pyramid with a square base has an altitude of 25 cm. So this is the altitude h. If the edge of the base is 15 cm, so meaning this is A, our base is a square. So our base is a square with 15 cm. So we wanted to find the volume of the pyramid. So we learned that the volume is 1/3 area of the base times side. The base is a square, so the area of the square is A squared, so that's 15 squared times the height, which is 25 cm, which is also given. So that's why we can find the volume of a cone. So in the next video, we are going to discuss analytic geometry.